All right, let's get into it. We've got a story today that, well, it gets right to the heart of some really big questions about our education system. We're calling this one Recalibrating the Machine.
So, picture this. It all starts in a meeting. On one side of the table, you've got a group with a very specific mission. As the source material puts it, they came to save the students.
But for all their good intentions, there is one crucial tool they forgot to pack. They didn't bring a calculator. And believe me, that one small omission, it changes absolutely everything.
Okay, so let's set the scene properly. First up, missionaries and their pamphlets. These college recruiters, they show up with this incredible energy. The source actually describes them as arriving like missionaries, you know? They're armed with these super glossy pamphlets and, of course, the classic earnest PowerPoint deck. And on paper, their goal sounds fantastic, to save these really bright, low-income students by showing them the one true path to a four-year university. The person leading this charge, we're going to call her Ms. Fernandez, and she was completely convinced. She said, these high-achieving students absolutely need to attend four-year universities. And she's delivering this line with that kind of fixed smile, selling a very specific and, let's be real, a very expensive version of the dream.
So just how expensive is this dream we're talking about? Well, the private college she was representing had an annual sticker price of $70,000. Just let that number hang in the air for a second. That's the baseline for this entire conversation.
And that, right there, sets up the central conflict of this whole story. It's a classic showdown, the dream versus the math. For Mrs. Fernandez, the dream was the only way. Any other route, something like community college, she said would be a complete waste of these students' potential. That one comment, right there, tells you everything about the powerful stigma that still exists against really practical, technical programs. Okay, now let's bring in the other side of the story, the math. This comes from the head of a machining program at the local community college. And just look at the difference here. It's night and day. The dream path means 6 figures of student debt for a starting salary around 38 grand. The math path, we're talking basically zero debt for a starting salary of 65 grand. And here's the kicker. His students were getting jobs lined up before they even graduated. It's a completely different world. So what happens when you present this kind of cold hard data to somebody who's selling a dream? Well, that brings us to the climax of the scene, a fact politely ignored. The program head, Rob, he just lays out the facts nice and calm. He says our students get hired before they even graduate. Most finish with zero debt. This isn't a sales pitch. It's not an opinion. It's just a statement of outcomes. And it directly torpedoes the recruiter's entire narrative. And how did Ms. Fernandez respond to this? Oh, the source material just nails it. She nodded politely, the way you nod when you've heard a fact you have no intention of allowing into your worldview. You've seen that nod, right? In that single moment, that quiet little dismissal, the entire bias of the system just becomes crystal clear. The math was just an inconvenience.
This one meeting, this one interaction, it really shines a light on a much, much bigger picture. Because this isn't a new phenomenon. It's just the latest version of what the source calls the old sorting machine.
The author actually shares a personal story. Back in the 1970s, a guidance counselor flat out told them they weren't college material. That was the sorting label back then. It was a gate designed to keep certain students out. Well, today, that label has completely flipped. For bright, low-income students, the message is now a command. You must attend a four-year university. You see the shift? It's fascinating. Back then, students were actively steered away from higher ed. Now, academically talented kids from low-income backgrounds are steered relentlessly toward it, but specifically toward the model that often locks them into massive amounts of debt. And this gets us to the absolute core idea of this whole explainer, recalibrating the machine.
So what is this new system? Let's just call it what it is. The rebranded sorting machine is a system that pushes promising students from lower-income families toward super expensive degrees and crushing debt, all while whispering in their ear that the practical, debt-free options that could give them a better start are somehow beneath them.
And that, right there, is the fundamental takeaway. The system that was designed to sort students into different buckets never really went away. It just got a makeover. It got better marketing. The sorting machine hadn't broken down. It had just rebranded. And that leaves us with one final and pretty provocative question. If the machine's purpose is still to sort, But the labels and the methods have changed so dramatically. Who is it really sorting for now?